Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So today I want us to actually just kind of discuss and talk about the pros and cons to Blake's story. Since we did just get through a lot of her own story within Volume 4 and Volume 5, I thought it'd be interesting to just kind of talk about it and kind of give my take on what I think about how it went, and also just kind of briefly talk about all of it. So let's discuss all of this. So, Blake has come a long way since the beginning of RWBY. And, at one time, she was a very, preserved person. She liked to really be more to herself. And if she had problems, she would more so run away from it. And of course, she had a lot of issues with the whole prejudice between the Faunus and the humans. And she was at one time even a part of the White Fang. Now, of course, in Volume 1, when Weiss and Blake had their dispute against one another because of Sun and how Weiss was being pretty, prejudiced against Sun, saying that he was a filthy Faunus, which, wasn't right, obviously. But, Blake was going to obviously defend, the Faunus because she is one. And of course, this became a problem once it was revealed she was a part of the White Fang, because the White Fang had strayed off the path from what they once were, caused a lot of problems for the Dust Company, and this obviously resulted in her running away from her problems because, Blake tended to always run away from an issue. That was the whole thing about her in the past, and also kind of hiding her identity, I guess trying to accept herself was another problem because of how the humans treated the Faunus. Her point of view was, she tried to blend in with the humans to make them think she was a human. And of course, over time, which was good, was that she, was like, you know what, it doesn't matter. I'm a Faunus, and that's how it is. And she accepted that she was. And, it's like she revealed more that, hey, you know what, who cares about what people think? I'm going to be me. And that's good because obviously, whenever it comes to real life, people should accept you for who you are, not for, because they think, oh, your status is so and so or whatever. It's for who you are as a person, your characteristics. It's not your appearance that should make you really matter. It's for who you are on the inside. And of course, Sun also came and helped out Blake. There were a lot of good things that did come for her character development within Volume 4 and 5. I mean, of course, yeah, let's be real, Volume 4 and 5 did have some pretty out of focus writing and some mishaps, but there were some good things that actually came out of this. And another thing that I think helped Blake really accept who she was Ilya, because Ilya did actually communicate with humans more so and actually blend in with them more. And the only thing that happened with Ilya was obviously her parents being killed when they were in the mining accident, and of course this made her kind of resent the humans since they really kind of didn't do anything about it, and of course creates more tension between the humans and the Faunus, because in her eyes she felt like the humans did wrong by not doing anything about it. And of course, she was redeemed, and the way that was, spent and the way that they did that was actually pretty well. I mean, she was a character that was conflicted. She was confused on what she wanted, whether she thought it was right to work with White Fang or not. And instead of Blake running away from her issues because Ilya was originally going to just kidnap her and take her to Adam, which was a part of Corsica Phoenix's plan, luckily she didn't run away. And she actually fought for what was right. And of course, this took Blake some time to actually think about. She was very conflicted herself after the whole fall of Beacon, and after her believing that she was wrong for leaving and running away from her friends, which, yes, she shouldn't have ran away, but, I think in a sense it kind of did help her character out a lot more because she did go back home, and of course, she did kind of work out a lot of the issues with the White Fang. And one thing that was very good was, instead of her just naturally running away like she always did when it came to Volume 4 and Volume 5, Sun was there to actually help her out. Because the one thing that was good about Sun in this was Sun really showed that, hey, you should depend upon your friends. There are people that care about you, that are here for you. And of course, bringing up that thought, even though Blake believed that all of her friends should hate her for leaving, Sun was right on saying, no, they shouldn't. They don't have a right to hate you. You were afraid, you ran. Yeah, that was bad, but realistically, you can depend upon your friends. You can depend upon people to help you because, friends should be there for one another. They should assist one another. And instead of running away from your problems, confronting them and even addressing your friends about it is a good way to go about it, because it helps you get an insightful point of view. It shows you that people care about you. And, Blake finally learned, hey, I'm not going to run away from my problems. And I think that was a very good thing for her character development. I think that her learning this stuff, Sun actually being there, helping her to improve, it was a very good thing for her character. She really needed this, and it obviously helped her, take up the mantle to actually build a rebellion against the White Fang, which is something I had been hoping for a long time. I was hoping that, she would actually develop to be this character to actually fight off against Adam. But now we have to talk about some of the faults, though, within the character arc for herself. And some of the writing was kind of lacking on this one. I really feel like there were some problems here, and I'm going to talk about that. But at least on the pro side, she did have good development, and hopefully that will continue to progress. Now, here are the cons that I was, saying, because there are quite a bit of them. Now, let's look at it like this. Adam Torres himself, I've talked about this a little bit before. I'm going to bring this up here because this has to do with Blake. Adam himself was being brought up to be a character that seemed like he was going to be a pretty good villain. He was obviously, supposedly looking like a terrifying force. He looked like a character that was fearsome. He was starting to seem like a fearsome character. And not only did he seem like a fearsome character, but if you look at it, the reason why Blake ran away from the White Fang was because of him. I mean, he was her fear. And she was afraid of him enough to run away. And he was not the right individual. I mean, he obviously was in the wrong the whole time, because, his point of view was, oh, hey, I'm a spiteful person who wants to just make all the humans burn for their prejudice, and, they deserve to die, and they also deserve to be, basically sitting at our feet worshiping us. And it wasn't really a good point of view, obviously. It shows that Adam was a bad guy, and I mean, he had some interesting intentions, but as things started to progress on, because let's look at it like this. In Volume 3, when he returned, at the end of Volume 2, he was there to lead the White Fang, and in Volume 3, he obviously said that he was going to hurt everyone that Blake cared about, and it started with Yang, and obviously it did, because, he did cut off her arm. And, of course, you look at it, and Blake feels horrible for the situation, because she feels like she got Yang involved within all of this, because, obviously Yang went to find Blake, and then the next thing you know, what happens? Obviously everything goes south, and Yang loses an arm, and obviously this scares Blake. Blake is terrified. She does the same thing as she always did. She ran away. But here's the thing that becomes a problem, because in Volume 4, Adam is now starting to be led up to be this big bad villain. I mean, even Yang is traumatized by him. She has nightmares of him. And it shows you that Adam was being really just built up as a villain. He was being built up as a big one for Yang, for her character arc. And it then seems like it just comes crashing down. And I mean, another thing that really leads up upon this is actually Volume 5. Volume 5 really leads Adam up yet again, because when he kills Sienna Khan, he takes over the White Fang. This seems like a very interesting thing that's going to happen. It feels like there's going to be a big confrontation between, Blake and Adam, because obviously it's been leading up to it. And he was supposed to be a fearsome character. He was her fear, as I said before. And that's a problem, because when you lead up a character to become a big antagonist for another character, especially if it's their arc, and this character's led up to be a fearsome and strong foe, and someone that is actually, terrifying to the character of the arc, the main protagonist of the arc, the problem is, because the character's been built up so much, once you drop the ball, like they did with Adam, where it's just like, oh yeah, he seems like this big bad guy, and you have Blake, who is absolutely terrified of him, and is going to stand up to him regardless, because she's there to actually fight against him, it becomes a problem. Because, yes, even before this, like when she was about to be captured by Ilya, you could definitely tell she was afraid of Adam. And that is a problem. It really is. I mean, the good part of this is, like I said, with the pro, yes, Sun was there, but this should have been different. The interactions here is she should have confronted either son or her parents or somebody about Adam to be like, hey, I'm afraid of him. I'm afraid of Adam. Please help me know what to do or how to face his fear. This never happened. She just somehow came about and obviously took away her stealth because she used to be a stealthy character and just kind of is like, hey, look, I'm up here on this building. Hey, by the way, I'm not here for you. There are several problems to this because one, within this, Blake was actually there to confront the White Fang, which means Adam was the one she was confronting also because that's kind of the point. And when you're sitting here saying, yeah, we're here to save Haven Academy from the White Fang because that was the point, you have to remember that Adam, he is the leader of the White Fang, and it's like, hold on just a second. You should be here to confront him and take him on, but apparently Blake even states herself, I'm not here for you. But that's incorrect because that's why she was there. And it feels like the writing for that was kind of bad. And then also another thing I'm going to point out is the way Adam was taken down was kind of just, I don't know, it just didn't feel right because Adam had been let up. And then it's like Blake just overcame all fears, like she had no fear anymore. The writing for the end here just did not feel right. It felt like there should have been a bigger climactic point for Blake to confront Adam. Yeah, she still could have been afraid, which would have been fine, and it would have been understandable, but she at least would be facing her fears, and I think that would have been a more relatable thing when it came to a character than to sit there and the character just overcome the fear out of nowhere, not even talk about it with anybody, and then next thing you know, oh hey look, I'm big and bad and I can fight you now and I'm not worried about you because you're nobody in comparison. It really felt like a big disappointment. But Blake has come a long way from who she once was, and I think it's very good to see that she's not going to run away from her problems anymore. I mean, she has learned that her friends are here for her. She has learned that she should be fighting for her friends than to run away. And it's good that she now knows to confront her problems than to run from them. And hopefully the next confrontation with Adam, maybe that can be done a lot better and written better because that was poorly executed in my opinion. But anyways, let me know what you think down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Just let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, hit the video with a like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and share this with your friends if you found this informative or useful. Well, anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful day, and remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow can always be better. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and have a good one.